What if the secret to success was never found in a classroom or taught in any book they gave you in school? What if the key to wealth, power, and influence was passed down quietly from the richest men in history in the form of a single law? This is not fiction. It is real. It changed lives then, and it can change yours now. If you are ready to unlock the mindset that creates unstoppable success, subscribe, share, and stay with me till the very end. Because once you understand this law, you will never see life the same way again. So today, we are going to explore one of the most powerful books ever written on success. A book that has shaped leaders, entrepreneurs, and thinkers for over a century. The Law of Success, written by Napoleon Hill, is not just a book. It is a roadmap, a blueprint for turning dreams into action and turning your mind into your greatest asset. We will break this life-changing work down step by step. Each part will guide you through a new principle, a new mindset, a new law of achievement. So sit back, breathe, and stay with me till the very end, because what you are about to hear can shift your thinking forever. Now, let's begin. This is section 1, the beginning of philosophy, the Carnegie interview that started it all. It all began with a question asked in silence, in a grand, quiet room, by a man whose name would echo through time. Napoleon Hill was young, curious, driven, but still unknown. He had dreams of writing, dreams of purpose, but no clear path. Then came a call, a rare invitation. He was asked to interview one of the most powerful men in the world. Steel magnate, millionaire, mentor. His name was Andrew Carnegie. It was more than an interview. It was a test. Carnegie looked into Hill's eyes, not with judgment, but with interest. He did not just see a reporter. He saw potential. And then he asked, would Napoleon Hill dedicate the next 20 years of his life to studying the world's most successful people, to finding the laws, the truths that govern greatness, to gathering wisdom not from theory, but from real lives and real results? Would he take on this mission with no promise of payment, no contract, only a belief that this knowledge could transform the world? Hill paused. The answer was not easy. It would cost him time, security, maybe everything. But in that moment, something inside him said yes. He accepted the challenge, and a new journey began. What followed was not just research. It was transformation. For the next 2 decades, Hill sat face to face with history makers. He listened to the stories of Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, Theodore Roosevelt, John D. Rockefeller, and dozens more. He did not just collect facts. He searched for patterns, for a common thread, for the invisible laws that made ordinary people extraordinary. And slowly, piece by piece, it all began to form. A philosophy, a roadmap, a way of thinking that could turn any life into a masterpiece if followed with faith and discipline. This was not just about wealth. It was about power with purpose, success with character, influence with integrity. Hill believed that success was not a mystery. It was a formula, one that anyone could follow, no matter where they started, no matter what they lacked. And that belief became the law of success. Let us pause here. Ask yourself, have you ever felt like success was for someone else? For the lucky? For the connected? For the ones who already had everything? This book says no. Success, Hill teaches, is not about luck. It is about laws, principles, daily thoughts, daily actions, daily alignment between vision and effort. And it starts with a decision. Just like Hill made when he said yes to Carnegie, you must say yes to your own journey. Let's go back to that moment one more time. Picture a young Napoleon Hill, sitting across from a legend. His hands might have been shaking, his heart pounding, But he chose courage. He chose the long road, the uncertain one, the one that would not reward him quickly, but would eventually reward millions. Why? Because deep down, he knew there was something more to life than comfort. He wanted to understand, to discover, to serve. And now, that same opportunity is in front of you. You are here, listening, opening your mind, not just to information, but to transformation, because the law of success is not just a book. It is a mirror, a blueprint, a seed that can grow into something incredible if you water it with discipline and desire. In this first section, we do not learn a tactic. We learn a truth. Success starts when you commit, when you say, I do not know everything, but I am willing to learn. I have made mistakes, but I am ready to grow. I may be afraid, but I will still move forward. This was Hill's mindset, and it must be yours too, because what you are about to learn in this book is more than strategy. It is soul work. Each principle is a torch, lighting up a part of your mind that you may have forgotten or never even seen. And as we move forward, section by section, chapter by chapter, you will feel it, the shift, the inner change, the moment when theory turns into action. But it all starts here, with one brave decision. Napoleon Hill made his. He gave 20 years of his life to find these truths. And now, you are being asked to give 1 hour, one heart, one open mind. Can you feel that? That quiet whisper? That pull? That is your spirit saying, I am ready. So do not look back. Do not doubt. You are not here by accident. You are here because a part of you knows there is more inside you, more ahead of you, and more waiting. If you are willing to learn, grow, and act, this is the beginning of your new success story. And it begins with the exact same thing. That changed Hill's life forever. A decision. Let this be your moment, your yes, your turning point. And now, let us continue, because in Section 2, we uncover the first and most important law of all, the definite chief aim. Section 2, the first step to power, finding your definite chief aim. Look around you. How many people seem truly alive, not just breathing, but living, with energy, with purpose, with direction? Now look a little deeper. How many people are just drifting, waking up, going to work, coming home, scrolling, sleeping, repeating? No fire, no joy, no real reason behind it all. This is how most people live. And this is why most people never succeed. They are not lazy. They are not broken. They are just unclear. They have no definite chief aim. And without a clear aim, the mind has nothing to organize itself around. The body has no real drive. The heart has no strong reason to keep going when it gets hard. In this section, Napoleon Hill teaches us something simple, but life-changing. The first step to success is deciding what you really want. Not what sounds nice, not what looks good on paper, but what burns in your heart. This is called your definite chief aim. It is your main goal, your big reason, your chosen destination. Without it, you wander. With it, you lead. Let's imagine two people. Both are 35. Both are intelligent. Both work the same job. Both get up at 7 a.m. Both drive the same road every day. But there is one big difference. The first man is stuck. He works because he has to. He complains often. He watches the clock. And every day feels the same. The second man is alive. He works with a spark in his eyes. He knows this job is part of a bigger plan. He is saving money to launch his business. He reads every day. He listens to audiobooks during his drive. He has a written gold card in his wallet. He recites it every morning and night. One man is drifting, the other is aiming. That is the difference your chief aim makes. Your goal becomes your guide. It turns your thoughts into a map. It gives meaning to your pain. It gives power to your actions. Now, let us make it personal. What do you want? Not just someday, but deeply, clearly, right now. Do not rush this. Sit with it. Write it down. Read it back. Feel it in your body. It should light something up inside you. It should make your spine straighten. It should make you want to move. Hill said, "A definite purpose backed by a burning desire for fulfillment sets the mind on fire. That fire is your definite chief aim. Once you know what you want, you must write it down. And not just once. Write it clearly. Write it in the present tense. And read it out loud twice a day, morning and night. Why? Because this is how you speak to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind runs most of your life. It stores your beliefs. It creates your habits. It controls your emotions and reactions. And here is the key. It responds to repetition and emotion. If you say something often enough, with feeling, your subconscious starts to believe it. And when your subconscious believes it, your behavior begins to change. Automatically, naturally. This is called autosuggestion. It is like planting a seed in your mind and watering it every day until it grows roots, until it becomes real. Let us take an example. Say your chief aim is, I earn $5,000 per month doing work I love. You write it. You repeat it twice daily. You imagine it. You feel it. At first, it may feel strange, but after weeks of repetition, your mind starts to align. You start noticing new ideas, new people, new energy. You take actions you used to avoid. You feel more confident. You speak with more purpose. Why? Because your inner story has changed. And when your story changes, your life changes. Now, there is one more thing you must do. You cannot just speak your aim. You must act on it. Your actions tell your mind, I mean this. I am serious. I am becoming this person. Every small step you take builds proof. And the more proof you have, the stronger your belief becomes. It becomes a cycle of growth. So let us review. First, decide what you want. Be specific. Be bold. Let it stretch you. Second, write it down. Clearly, in the present tense, as if it is already happening. Third, repeat aloud every morning and night, with emotion, with belief. Fourth, take one step each day that moves you toward it. This is how you build momentum. This is how you build power. You are no longer drifting. You are directing. And it all starts with one decision, your definite chief aim. It is not just a goal. It is a vow, a compass, a personal contract with your future self. And the moment you choose it, the moment you really commit, something begins to shift. You walk with more confidence. You speak with more conviction. You treat yourself with more respect, because now you have a reason. So here's your task. Before you go to sleep tonight, write your aim, one sentence. Clear, simple, emotional. Then, tomorrow morning, read it, feel it, say it out loud, and begin again. This is how leaders are built. This is how lives are changed. This is how success begins. With vision, with purpose, with a definite aim. Section 3. Becoming unstoppable, building unshakable self-confidence. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build, one thought at a time, one action at a time. Most people think confidence comes from success, but that is not true. Success comes from confidence. If you wait to feel confident before you act, you will never move. You will wait forever. You will miss opportunities. You will live small, but if you decide to act, even when you are scared, even when you feel unsure, confidence begins to grow. In the law of success, Napoleon Hill says something powerful. Self-confidence is a first step toward success. Why? Because everything begins in the mind. If you do not believe in yourself, why would anyone else? If your thoughts are full of fear and doubt, your actions will be weak. You will hesitate. You will play it safe. You will settle. But when you believe in yourself, when you believe you are worthy of more, you show up differently. Your energy changes. Your tone becomes firm. Your posture straightens. Your mind becomes clear. So, how do you build that belief? Hill gives us a tool. It is simple, but powerful. He calls it the self-confidence formula. It is a written statement, a personal pledge. You read it aloud every day, with emotion, with honesty, with repetition. Because repetition rewires the brain. It replaces doubt with belief. It replaces fear with certainty. Let us walk through the formula. Here is the first line. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite chief aim in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. This is a declaration. You are telling your mind, I can do this. I will do this. I must do this. You are no longer asking for permission. You are commanding your focus, your energy, your movement. Next line. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. This line is everything. It reminds you that your thoughts are seeds. If you think strong thoughts, you grow strong habits. You build strong results. Weak thoughts create weak actions. Strong thoughts create strong outcomes. The formula continues. I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, and by doing so, I will create in my mind a clear mental picture. This is visualization. You do not just wish for change. You picture it. You feel it. You mentally rehearse it until it becomes familiar. The more familiar it feels, the less fear you feel, because your brain sees it as real. Next line. I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. This is practice. Confidence is not a switch. It is a skill. Like a muscle, it grows with use. You must show up daily, even for 10 minutes, to speak truth, to stand tall, to take one step forward. The fifth part says, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. This part connects everything. Your goal, your belief, your action, your timeline is not rushed. You are in it for the long game. You are not stopping until you win. And finally, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. This is the integrity piece. Real success is not just about results. It is about how you get there. Confidence is strongest when your values are aligned, when you know your word means something, when you treat people with fairness, when you walk with honor. This entire formula, when read daily, begins to shift your identity. You go from, I hope I can, to, I will, from, I am not sure if I deserve it, to, I was born for this. Confidence does not mean you never feel fear. It means you move through fear. It means you show up anyway. It means you do the thing, even when your hands shake. That is real power. Let us go deeper. Think about someone you admire, a leader, a speaker, an artist, a visionary. Do you think they always felt confident? Of course not, but they acted as if they believed, until they truly did. They spoke to themselves with love. They carried themselves with discipline. They learned. They failed. They stood up again. And with every action, their self-image changed. You can do the same. Start today. Write your own version of the formula, or copy Hill's word for word. Read it out loud every morning. Look yourself in the mirror if you need to. Speak with conviction, even if it feels awkward at first. Then go out into the world and take one bold step. Apply for the opportunity. Speak up in the meeting. Say yes to growth. Say no to fear. With time, you will notice a shift. Your voice will get stronger. Your pace will get firmer. Your eyes will look more alive. That is the power of built confidence. It does not come from applause. It comes from action, from truth, from the inner voice that says, I can, I will, I am becoming. So repeat this with me, even quietly in your mind. I believe in myself. I trust myself. I am building a new version of me. One word, one step, one day at a time. Section 4. Wealth through wisdom, mastering the habit of saving. Let us talk about money, not just making it, but keeping it, growing it, respecting it. In the Law of Success, Napoleon Hill shares a truth that many ignore. The road to wealth begins with saving, not with income, not with luck, not even with talent, but with discipline. It is not about how much you earn. It is about how much you keep and what you do with what you keep. Think of money like water. If your bucket has holes, it does not matter how much pours in. You will always feel empty. You will always feel behind. But when you fix the holes, even a small stream can fill your bucket, and one day it will overflow. That is the power of saving. But saving is not just about numbers. It is a mindset, a declaration, a signal to your subconscious that says, I am ready to be trusted with more. When you save money, you tell yourself you are responsible. You tell the world you are ready. You stop living in fear, and you start building a foundation. Let me share a story. There was once a man named David. He worked a regular job. He was not rich. He lived paycheck to paycheck. Until one day, he read a simple line, pay yourself first. That line stayed with him. He decided to try it. The next paycheck he received, he took 10% and moved it to a new account. He called it his wealth account. At first, it was just $50. It seemed small, but it felt powerful. He kept doing it. Every month, 10%. No matter what, he cut small expenses. He stopped buying what he did not need. He cooked more meals at home. He chose growth over impulse. And after a year, he had over $1,000, not from a raise, not from a gift, but from discipline. That 1,000 turned into confidence. Confidence turned into curiosity. He began learning about investing, about passive income, about financial freedom. 5 years later, he had built a small business on the side. He no longer feared bills. He no longer felt trapped, all because he built the habit of saving. Now, let us bring it back to you. Wherever you are, whatever you earn, you can begin. Start with 1%. Start with 5. Build your saving muscle like you build anything else, one repetition at a time. Here is what you do. Open a new account. Label it Freedom Fund or Wealth Account, or any name that inspires you. Set up automatic transfers right after you get paid, not after bills, not after spending. First, do not touch it. This is not an emergency fund. This is a growth account. Celebrate your discipline. Even if it is small, even if it is slow, you are becoming a new person, a wise person, a builder. Hill says, the saving of money is solely a matter of habit. Once the habit has been mastered, the whole matter becomes automatic. And that is what you want, automatic wealth behavior. Because wealth is not just about opportunity. It is about preparation. And saving prepares you. It prepares you for unexpected chances, for investments, for emergencies, for peace. There is another reason saving matters. It kills fear. So many people stay stuck in bad jobs, toxic environments, even unhealthy relationships, because they are broke. They feel trapped, powerless, small. But saving gives you options, and options give you power. You can walk away. You can take a risk. You can say no, because You are not surviving anymore. You are designing your life. Let us go deeper. Money, at its core, is energy. It reflects how you treat yourself, how you treat others, how you treat your time. If you respect money, it respects you back. That means tracking your spending. It means saying no to what you do not need. It means surrounding yourself with people who value wisdom over flash. This is what wealth through wisdom looks like. It is quiet. It is steady. It does not need to prove anything. It speaks through confidence, not through noise. Here is the beautiful part. As you save more, you begin to think differently. Your brain shifts from scarcity to strategy, from panic to planning, from hoping to choosing. And one day, you will look back and say, I used to fear money. Now I manage it. Now I grow it. Now I teach others how to use it wisely. That is real success. Not just having more, but becoming more. So let's make a new promise today. Let us promise to save, not for status, not for show, but for peace, for growth, for power. Let us promise to master our habits, because when you master your habits, you master your future. Saving may not be sexy. It may not go viral, but it builds freedom, and freedom is the most beautiful wealth of all. Section 5, the art of taking initiative and leading others. Look around. Most people are waiting for the right time, waiting for permission, waiting for someone to tell them what to do. But the truth is simple. Leaders do not wait. They take initiative. They move first. This is one of Napoleon Hill's most powerful lessons. If you want to lead, if you want to rise, you must act before you are told. Initiative is a spark. It lights the fire of momentum. It separates the ordinary from the exceptional. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Paul. He worked in a factory. He punched the clock every morning, did what was asked, nothing more, nothing less. One day, the machine next to him broke. Everyone stood still. They waited for the supervisor. They shrugged. They complained. But Paul did not wait. He picked up a wrench. He tried. He failed. He tried again. And he fixed it. No one asked him. No one told him. But everyone noticed. Weeks later, a promotion opened. Paul was chosen, not because he was the best technician, but because he took initiative. That single moment changed his life. Here's a lesson. Opportunities do not knock. You must build the door. Every time you act without being told, you grow, you gain trust, you build leadership. But initiative is not just about big moves. It is about small daily choices, helping before being asked, solving problems before they become issues, learning without waiting for a course, giving ideas without being called on. This builds something rare, respect. People follow those who move, not those who sit. They follow those who serve, not those who seek power. This brings us to leadership. Leadership is not a title. It is a way of showing up, of taking responsibility, of inspiring others by example. You do not need a corner office. You do not need a business card. You only need the courage to go first. And when you do, others will rise with you. Let us go deeper. Why do most people not take initiative? It is not laziness. It is fear. Fear of failing. Fear of being wrong. Fear of judgment. But here's the truth. You grow through movement, not through safety. Initiative means you are willing to risk, to be seen, to try, to stretch. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. It becomes a habit. You stop asking, should I? And start asking, how can I? This shift rewires your brain. You begin to look for solutions. You see gaps others ignore. You find ways to serve, to improve, to lead. And you stop needing external motivation. You become internally driven. That is rare, and it is powerful. Now, let us bring it back to Hill's message. He says that all successful people share this quality. They move, they start, they step up, whether in business, in relationships, or in personal goals. Initiative creates momentum, and momentum creates results. But leadership is not just about being bold. It is about being wise. It is about listening, understanding, empowering. Hill says, leadership means intelligent direction and purpose. It is not control. It is not ego. It is service. The best leaders lift people. They see potential. They build trust. They guide without force. So if you want to lead, start by leading yourself. Be early. Be focused. Be kind. Be calm under pressure. People notice these things. They feel your energy. They remember your actions. You do not need to shout. Let your example speak. Let us break it down with a few simple habits. When something needs to be done, step forward. When you see a mess, clean it. When someone is struggling, offer help. When an idea sparks in your mind, share it. When a challenge rises, face it. Each time you do this, you train your mind to act. You build character. You build courage. One day, you will look back and see how those small moments built something big. You may start as a quiet one, the unknown one, but with enough initiative, you become the leader others look to. Now, let us talk about energy. Initiative and leadership are fueled by enthusiasm, not fake hype, but real passion. When you care, people feel it. When you believe, others start to believe too. When you are excited, others rise with you. So protect your energy. Feed your mind. Move your body. Rest when needed, because your energy is contagious. Use it to lift, not to control, to build, not to boast. Finally, remember this. You were born to lead, not necessarily a crowd, but your own path, your own story, your own impact. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for the perfect plan. Move, act, begin. Say yes to growth. Say yes to service. Say yes to becoming who you are meant to be. Leadership begins with one decision. I will not wait anymore. I will go first. Section 6. Imagination plus enthusiasm. The engines of creation. Think about every invention you see around you. The phone in your hand. The chair you sit in. The car on the street. The light in the room. All of it was first imagined, before it was built, before it was tested, before it changed the world. It was just an idea in someone's mind. That is the power of imagination. Napoleon Hill calls imagination one of the most important tools in the world of success, not just for dreamers, but for doers, for leaders, for builders, for anyone who wants to shape their life instead of being shaped by it. Imagination is how we create. It is how we grow. It is how we break free from limits that others try to place on us. But most people forget this gift. As children, we imagined freely. We built castles out of blocks. We flew in cardboard spaceships. We created stories and believed they were real. But then we grew up, and slowly we were told to stop. Be realistic. Stick to the rules. Follow the system. And little by little, we began to doubt what we could imagine. But those who rise, those who lead, those who succeed in big ways, they reclaim their imagination. They use it daily, not just to escape, but to design. Hill teaches us that there are two types of imagination, synthetic and creative. Synthetic imagination is when you use old ideas in new ways. You connect what already exists to build something better. Creative imagination is when new ideas seem to appear out of nowhere, like a spark, a whisper, a download from somewhere deeper. You need both. One builds a bridge. The other shows you where to go. Let us take an example. Thomas Edison imagined a world lit by electric light. People laughed, said he was crazy, but he held the vision. He tested. He failed. He kept going. He saw the light before anyone else could. That is imagination with belief. That is what changes history. But imagination needs something else. Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is emotional fuel. That keeps the vision alive. It is what keeps you going. When things are slow, when doubt creeps in, when people stop believing. Enthusiasm is energy. It is fire. It is the invisible force. That makes your dream burn inside you, so bright that others begin to feel it too. Hill writes, Enthusiasm is a state of mind that inspires and arouses one to put action into the task at hand. It is not fake hype. It is not loud talking. It is not pretending. True enthusiasm is quiet but powerful. It is grounded. It is steady. It comes from purpose, from vision, from love. Think of someone you admire, a teacher, a coach, a leader. They speak and you listen. They believe, and suddenly you believe too. That is enthusiasm at work, and you can build it. How? First, connect to your vision every day. Close your eyes. See what you want. Feel what it would be like. Let that emotion rise. Second, take care of your body. Move, sleep, hydrate. Fuel your mind with good content. Fuel your heart with gratitude. Energy flows where health grows. Third, share your passion. Talk about your goals. Not to impress, but to express. Your energy can inspire someone else. Your words can give others permission to chase their dream too. Let us be honest. There will be days when you do not feel inspired, when your mind is foggy, when the fire feels low. That is okay. Do not panic. Do not quit. Return to the basics. Sit in silence. Write your vision again. Say it aloud. Move your body. Take one small step forward. Enthusiasm is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet and steady. A slow burn. A deep knowing. Now here is the real magic. When imagination and enthusiasm combine, you become unstoppable. You see what is possible, and you feel it so deeply that nothing can stop you. You become the creator of your world. Others wait for things to happen. You imagine and move. Others complain about problems. You dream up solutions. Others follow the path. You draw your own map. That is the power of these two tools. Hill tells us to guard our imagination, to protect it from fear, from doubt, from the people who say, be realistic. Because what is realistic to them is limited by what they can see. But what is possible for you is limited only by what you can imagine. So imagine often, imagine boldly, and then bring that vision to life with steady, joyful energy. Let us end this section with a simple daily practice. Each morning, close your eyes for 2 minutes. Picture your future self living your dream. Smile, feel it, let it light your day. Each evening, write one thing you did that brought you closer to that vision. Each week, tell one person about something that excites you. Speak it into the world. These small actions will feed your imagination. They will grow your enthusiasm. And soon, you will become a magnet for ideas, energy, and success. Because you are not just working hard. You are dreaming on purpose and dreaming with passion. And that is how creators are made. Section 7. Self-control, accurate thought, and the power of auto-suggestion. Let us slow down for a moment, because this section is powerful and personal. You already have a dream. You are building confidence. You are moving with enthusiasm. You are taking action. But now we enter a deeper level, the place where true transformation happens, inside the mind. In the law of success, Napoleon Hill teaches us that thoughts are things, not just ideas, not just passing clouds, but real living forces. They shape your feelings. They shape your actions. They shape your future. And so, you must learn how to control them. This is where self-control and accurate thought come in. Let us begin with self-control. Self-control does not mean you never feel anger. It does not mean you never feel fear. It means you do not let those feelings control you. You feel them. You notice them. And then you choose your response. That is real power. You are no longer reacting. You are responding. You are no longer a slave to emotion. You are the master of your mind. Hill says, the man who cannot control himself can never control others. Think about that. If you cannot calm your own mind, how can you lead others? How can you stay focused? How can you move forward with clarity? Self-control is not about perfection. It is about awareness. Let us say someone criticizes you. You want to snap. You want to prove yourself. But you pause. You breathe. You choose silence, or kindness, or truth. That pause, that space between reaction and action, that is self-control, and it makes you strong. Now, let's talk about accurate thought. Your mind is filled with information. Some of it is true. Some of it is noise. Some of it is old beliefs you picked up without realizing. And if you do not filter your thoughts, they will guide you in the wrong direction. Accurate thought is the ability to separate facts from opinions, truth from fear, wisdom from noise. It is the skill of asking, is this really true? Is this helpful? Is this aligned with my purpose? Let us take an example. You make a mistake at work. A thought comes in, I always mess things up. Stop. Ask yourself, is that true? Is that accurate? Or is it just an emotional reaction? Maybe the truth is, I made a mistake. I can learn from it. I did not always mess up. Now you are thinking with accuracy, with control, with power. Hill teaches us to train the mind like a garden. We must pull out the weeds of doubt, fear, and anger, and plant seeds of focus, truth, and calm. But how? That brings us to the third and most powerful idea in this section, autosuggestion. Autosuggestion means using repetition to influence your subconscious mind. It is speaking directly to the deepest part of you, the part that shapes your habits, your reactions, your self-image. And this is how it works. You take a powerful statement. You repeat it every day with emotion, with belief, with feeling, and slowly it becomes part of you. It rewrites your identity. It changes how you see yourself and how you show up in the world. Let me give you an example. Say you repeat this every morning. I am calm. I am focused. I am becoming the leader I was born to be. At first, your mind may resist. It may say, no, that is not true. But you keep going. You repeat it anyway. You feel it as if it is real. And after days, weeks, months, you notice a shift. You are calmer. You are more focused. You begin to lead in small ways, then bigger ways. That is autosuggestion in action. It is mental programming. But this time, you are in control. So here is your practice. Choose one or two statements. Make them positive. Make them present tense. Make them personal. For example, I am confident and clear in everything I do. I am attracting opportunities that match my purpose. I am disciplined. I am growing. I am rising. Say them every morning. Say them every night. Say them when doubt appears. Let them sink deep. Let them guide your actions. Let them shape your belief. Because your mind is always listening. The question is, were you telling it? Let us bring it all together. Self-control helps you choose your actions. Accurate thought helps you choose your beliefs. Autosuggestion helps you build a new identity. Together, these tools make you powerful, peaceful, purpose-driven. You are no longer at war with yourself. You are aligned. You are focused. You are in charge. And that is what success truly needs. Not just big ideas, but a strong inner world. Because when your mind is clear, your life becomes clear. When your thoughts are true, your actions are true. And when your identity is strong, no setback can break you. So here's the challenge. Today, take 10 minutes. Sit in silence. Ask yourself, what thoughts are holding me back? What do I want to believe instead? What do I want to feel every day as I chase this dream? Then write it down. Speak it aloud. Own it. Repeat it. And slowly, you will not just think differently, you will live differently. Because your mind will no longer be your enemy. It will be your greatest ally. And that changes everything. Section 8, doing more than paid for the hidden door to success. This is one of Napoleon Hill's most surprising lessons. It sounds simple, but it holds deep power. Success comes to those who do more than they are paid for. Yes, you heard that right. If you want to rise above the average, if you want to grow beyond what you earn now, you must give more than you receive. Not once, not twice, but daily, Why? Because this principle opens doors. It builds character. It builds trust. And most of all, it builds momentum. Let us think about it. Most people do only what is expected. They give the minimum. They do just enough to get by. They wait for a raise. They wait for appreciation. And they wonder why nothing changes. But those who rise, those who lead, they do extra. They stay a little longer. They help without being asked. They solve problems others ignore. Not because they are told to, but because they live by a higher standard. This is called the habit of going the extra mile. And it is rare, but it is powerful. Let me share a story. There was a young man who worked in a store. His job was simple: stack shelves, clean floors, smile at customers. Most workers did the bare minimum, but this young man was different. He greeted every person by name. He helped elderly customers carry their bags. He cleaned areas no one else cared about. He offered ideas to improve the store. Months passed. One day, the manager was promoted. Guess who they chose to replace him? Not the most experienced, not the loudest, but the one who did more than he was paid for. That small habit changed his whole life. Now, let us make it personal. Think about your own life, your work, your relationships, your daily actions. Where can you give a little more? Where can you serve with extra care? Where can you add more value? Not for applause, not for reward, but because it is who you choose to be. Here is the secret. When you give more, you grow more. You grow in skill, in patience, in reputation, in confidence. The world begins to notice. Opportunities come faster. Doors open wider. Why? Because the universe rewards effort. It rewards service. It rewards those who show up with heart. But let us be clear. This is not about working yourself to exhaustion. It is about showing excellence. In everything you do, it is about leaving a mark. Wherever you go, whether it is your job, your business, your art, or your relationships, ask yourself, how can I make this better? How can I serve more deeply? How can I give more than expected? Even the small things matter. Smile first. Respond kindly. Finish what you start. Deliver before the deadline. Say thank you with meaning. Over time, these little acts create a powerful reputation. People will say, that person always brings value. That person can be trusted. That person goes beyond. And when people trust you, they open doors for you. Hill says, no man may become great without applying this principle, because success is never just about what you get. It is about what you give, and what you give comes back tenfold, not always immediately, but always eventually. Let us also talk about mindset. Some people say, why should I do more? I am not paid for that. That is a poor mindset. It keeps people small. It keeps them stuck. Instead, say, I will do more because I am becoming more. This is how you outgrow your current level. This is how you prepare for your next chapter. It is not about impressing others. It is about building your own character, your own habits, your own greatness. You are not doing extra work. You are doing inner work. That is where real success begins. So how can you start today? Here is a simple formula. Every morning, choose one task where you will give more than expected. Every evening, reflect, where did I serve with excellence? What did I do that no one asked for? Each week, find one person to help without expecting anything in return. These small steps will build a strong habit, a powerful presence, a winning mindset, and slowly you will begin to rise. Because when you do more, you become more. And when you become more, you attract more, not just money, but meaning, respect, opportunities, growth. So make this your personal rule. I will always do more than I am paid for, not because I have to, but because that is who I am. Say it out loud. Let it sink in. Let it guide your actions from this moment forward, because this habit, though small, leads to a life that is anything but ordinary. Section 9, Mastering Failure, Tolerance, and Cooperation. Let's face a hard truth. Failure is part of success, not the opposite, not the enemy, but the teacher. Every person who ever succeeded also failed, not once, but many times. The difference? They did not stay down. They got back up. Napoleon Hill teaches us something powerful. Failure is never final unless you quit. It is feedback. It is redirection. It is a message. Not this way. Try again. Let us look at a story. There was a man who tried to start a business. He gave it everything. Money, time, heart, but it failed. He was embarrassed. He felt lost. People whispered. He doubted himself. But instead of quitting, he sat down and he asked, "What did this teach me?" He found 5 lessons, 5 mistakes he would never repeat. And with those lessons, he started again. The second time he succeeded. Why? Because failure had sharpened him. It had made him stronger, wiser, more focused. You must learn to do the same. Do not fear failure. Study it. Learn from it. Let it shape you. Say to yourself, "This is not the end. This is part of my journey." Now let us talk about tolerance. In today's world, people are quick to judge, quick to divide, quick to say, "If you are not like me, you are wrong." But Hill warns us, intolerance closes the door to wisdom. If you only listen to people who agree with you, you stop growing. Real leaders stay open. They listen to all sides. They seek truth, not comfort. Tolerance does not mean you accept everything. It means you stay calm. You stay kind. You stay curious. Let us say you meet someone with different beliefs. Instead of shutting them down, you ask, "Why do you think that? Can you share your story?" This builds bridges, not walls. It expands your mind. And when your mind expands, so does your influence. The most powerful people are not the loudest. They are the most open. Now, let us move to cooperation. No one climbs alone. No one succeeds by themselves. Behind every great achievement is a team, a mentor, a friend, a supporter. Hill calls this the power of the mastermind. It is the idea that when 2 or more minds work together in harmony, they create a third, invisible force, something bigger than either one. Let me explain with a story. 2 musicians meet. Each is good alone. But when they write together, magic happens. They create something neither could do alone. That is the mastermind at work. It can happen in business, in friendship, in family, in community. But it only works when there is trust, respect, unity. Cooperation does not mean you agree on everything. It means you are aligned in purpose. You move together. You lift each other. You win together. Now ask yourself, do I try to do everything alone? Or do I invite help? Do I build partnerships? Do I value team energy? If not, you are limiting yourself. Start small. Ask someone for input. Join a group. Start a weekly check-in with a friend. Share your goals. Share your struggles. You will be surprised how much faster you grow when you walk with others. Let us bring all 3 lessons together. Failure, tolerance, cooperation. They are not soft skills. They are success skills. When you embrace failure, you become resilient. When you practice tolerance, you become wise. When you build cooperation, you become unstoppable. Hill says, no man may become a permanent success without taking others along with him. Think about that. True success is not about being at the top alone. It is about rising and bringing others with you. So how do you apply this? Here is your daily practice. At the end of each day, ask, what did I fail at today? What did it teach me? In each conversation, ask, am I listening with respect? Or am I trying to be right? Each week, ask, who am I building with? Who am I supporting? Who is supporting me? These simple reflections will shape your character, and your character shapes your future. So the next time you fall, do not say, I failed. Say, I learned. I grew. I am still moving. The next time you meet someone different, do not close your mind. Open your heart And when you need help, do not let pride hold you back. Reach out, link arms, build your mastermind. Because success is not just about what you achieve. It is about who you become along the way. And if you become a person who grows through failure, who listens with wisdom, who builds in unity, then nothing can stop you. Section 10. The Golden Rule, the ultimate law of all success. Every law we have explored, every success habit, every mindset shift leads here to one simple idea, one powerful principle, one timeless truth. The Golden Rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You have heard it before, but do not let its simplicity fool you. It is the root of all greatness, the final test of true success. Napoleon Hill called this the guiding light, the law above all laws, because without it, we may achieve wealth, but lose our peace. We may gain power, but lose our character. The Golden Rule brings balance. It brings harmony. It brings alignment between success and soul. So what does it really mean? It means before you speak, think, would you want to be spoken to that way? Before you act, pause. Would you want to be treated like that? Before you judge, breathe. Would you want someone to understand you first? He'll believe this law is more than moral. He believed it is spiritual. What you send out comes back. Your energy, your words, your choices, they return in thought, in emotion, in consequence. That is why people who act with love, with honesty, with fairness, eventually rise. It may take time, but life has a rhythm, a memory, a mirror, and it reflects what you give. Let me share a story. A woman ran a small bakery. She was kind, even to rude customers. Even on bad days, she offered extra cookies to children. She gave free bread to hungry people. She smiled with sincerity. Her bakery was not fancy, but people loved her. One day, a local newspaper wrote about her kindness. The article went viral. Suddenly, her little shop became a symbol of goodness. Sales exploded. She was invited to speak, to share her story. And when asked the secret to her success, she said only this: I just treat people how I would want to be treated. That is the Golden Rule in action. But let us be honest, it is not always easy. Sometimes you are hurt. Sometimes people lie. Sometimes the world feels unfair. And in those moments, it is tempting to respond with anger, with revenge, with coldness. But that path leads to emptiness. It drains you. It dims you. It distances you from your highest self. The Golden Rule is not for the weak. It takes strength, real strength, to forgive, to speak kindly, to stay true to your values. When it is hard, but every time you do, you grow, you become someone worthy of leadership, worthy of trust, worthy of lasting success. Because people do not remember what you say, or what you wear, or what you post. They remember how you made them feel. Did you lift them? Did you listen? Did you care? Let us bring it closer to home. In your work, are you honest? Do you give your best? Would you be proud if someone treated you the way you treat others? In your family, are you patient? Do you show love, even when tired? In your dreams, do you build with fairness, with heart, with truth? Because success is not just about building something great. It is about building it the right way. Hill says, success based on force or fear can never last. But success built on love, on respect, on service, that kind of success stands forever. Let us end this journey with a commitment, a simple promise, to live by this rule, not perfectly, but consciously, daily. Say it with me, quietly in your heart. I will treat others the way I want to be treated. I will lead with kindness, speak with truth, act with fairness, even when no one is watching, even when it is hard, because that is who I am. That is who I choose to be. This is the true mark of success. Not just the money, not just the fame, not just the achievement, but the legacy, the impact, the love you leave behind. So as we close this 10-part journey, remember this. You now have the tools. You know the laws. You have the mindset. But above all, you have a choice to live your life with vision, with courage, with discipline, and with compassion. Let that be your foundation. Let that be your light. Let that be the law you carry forward. The law of success is not a mystery. It is a path, one step at a time, one thought at a time, one moment at a time. And now, it belongs to you.